Now, WBOC News This Morning, Delmarva's news leader.
A fire in a Bronx, New York apartment building kills at least 12 people, including a 1-year-old. Where the blaze began.
Fires continue to spark closer to home as well, where Delmarva saw more flames break out yesterday.
Celebrating New Year's Eve Delmarva style. I'm Angelo BAVARO, live in Princess Anne. The town's plans to ring in the new year using that muskrat and how they plan to keep those big crowds safe.
From the WBOC Newsplex in Salisbury, let's get your morning started with news from all over Delmarva. Good morning. You're watching WBOC News This Morning. I'm Kimberly Wiggins.
I'm Nicole Lauren. Jimmy has the week off.
And I'm meteorologist Mike Witchniak. It's Friday, December 29th. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And this is the cold that bites back.
You know, this is just the cold that makes you want to say, nope. Like when you open the door, you're like, no,
I'm gonna stay home.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Unfortunately, the trend is that it's going to get colder as we start 2018. It makes me shiver thinking that, knowing how cold it was when I stepped out the door this morning. It's in the teens. There's at least not that much wind, so it's not feeling colder, but in some places it is. So just keep that in mind. Probably the same number of layers as you had yesterday morning, this morning, as you step out the door. The reason why it's been in the teens is because we've had some cloud cover overhead. Temperatures today, 20s and low 30s. We'll talk about the full weekend forecast ahead in just about 5-6 minutes.
Okay, we'll check back in. At least 12 people are dead, including a 1-year-old, and 4 others are fighting for their lives after fire breaks out inside a Bronx, New York apartment building.
At least a dozen residents did manage to escape safely. John Schumo has the latest from the scene, which happens to sit just a block away from the Bronx Zoo.
Flames ripped through a 5-story apartment building in the Bronx around 7 p.m. last night. Based on the loss of life, it quickly became one of the most devastating fires in recent New York City history.
This is the worst fire tragedy we have seen in this city in at least a quarter century.
Fire officials say it started on the first floor and quickly spread to all 5 floors of the nearly 100-year-old building. Windows on some of the top floors were smashed and blackened. Firefighters responded within 3 minutes. They immediately extended their ladders to help residents on every floor. Witnesses say, though, even before help arrived, people inside were scrambling to climb down.
They started to get everybody out, but people were on the fire escape already trying to get down on their own. That's how fast it was moving.
Complicating the rescue effort for more than 150 firefighters who responded, the weather. The temperature at the time was in the low teens, single digits with the wind chill. Many of those who had to rush out of their homes were forced to flee without fully getting dressed.
It was like freezing point, so it was worse for people who wasn't ready and dressed appropriately with no shoes or any of that.
The Red Cross responded, handing out blankets. City buses were brought in to help keep people warm. John Schumo, CBS News, New York.
Investigators are still trying to figure out what sparked the fire and how it spread so quickly in the mostly brick building. Back locally, a slew of fires up and down the eastern shore. In Sussex County, fire crews fought through freezing temperatures last night after a car fire in West Bay Park. These are some of the pictures from the scene from the Rehoboth Beach Fire Company. Crews were dispatched around 7 p.m. last night for the fire on Maple Lane in the park. It took about an hour to put out. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Fire crews also working overnight after a fire broke out in Felton. Reports say the Healing Hands Christian Church on Berrytown Road went up in flames around midnight. We're told no one was inside the church in Felton at the time.
One is dead and several homeless after another fire in Sussex County. This one occurred Thursday morning. It happened on East Mayhew Drive in Lincoln. A spokesman for the Ellendale Fire Department says the victim was found in the basement of the home, but the name of the victim has not yet been released. Officials say the 7 others who were injured were taken to Milford Memorial and are in stable condition. Neighbors say the home was quickly overtaken by the flames.
I didn't think nothing at first, but then when I saw, like I said, it was pretty big. The fire was big, and our neighbor was already over there trying to get the fire under control with his fire extinguisher. So
damage from this fire is estimated at $250,000. The state fire marshal's office has not yet identified a cause of the fire in Sussex County. And yet another fire, this one now in Wycomico County. You can see firefighters here cutting a hole into the roof to help the smoke escape the two-story home on South Division Street in Salisbury. The fire started around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. The Salisbury Fire Department confirms one person was inside the home and they were able to get out safely. The fire department says although the cause of the fire is still under investigation, they believed it started on the first floor of the home. They also say hoarding conditions made it difficult for firefighters to contain this fire in Salisbury.
As temperatures continue to drop, first responders in Dorchester County say the number of calls linked to carbon monoxide worries goes up. That's not the only thing increasing. Many say carbon monoxide detector sales are on the rise as well. Businesses say each year they see more people buying alarms as they begin to heat their houses. Anna Sierra of Dorchester County EMS says it's a good sign, adding they've only seen 6 cases in the county over the last 3 years.
Absolutely. We certainly see a spike. Dorchester County doesn't see a whole lot, but across the state we see a big spike during the winter months.
Dorchester County first responders say it's best to test your detectors once every year.
Well, another big story of the week, and it's New Year's. Whether you're headed to the ball drop in Salisbury or the midnight muskrat dive in Princess Anne, you can definitely expect a good time this New Year's Eve.
But organizers of these events say it's not all fun and games. WBOC's Angelo BAVARO joins us live in Princess Anne. Good morning, Angelo. So organizers say it takes a lot of work to keep those crowds safe.
Kim, Nicole, good morning. We are getting the party started just a little bit early here at the Washington Inn. And if that doesn't make you jealous, well, we are hanging with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Marshall the Muskrat. Marshall, how excited are you to be dropped this New Year's Eve? Yeah. Sounds interesting. Not a very talkative guy. That's okay. Now, if you do plan to come here to downtown Princess Anne for New Year's Eve, you can expect a ton of other fun stuff as well. We are talking giveaways, live entertainment, and as you can see here, free Smith Island cake and oysters. I will definitely be digging into that stuff after the show is over. Now, organizers of the event say they are expecting more than 500 people in town, and with all of those extra people in town, you can bet the police department has some plans in place to keep everybody safe. One of those plans involves enclosing the street right outside the doors here to redirect traffic away from the event. Additionally, police officers will also be stationed inside and around the event to keep folks safe, and planners of the event say that safety was a big priority as they planned the event.
This year, because it's going to be chilly outside, a lot of the event is going to take place indoors as well, in the Washington Inn and in the fire department. So not only is the outdoor area secured, the indoor areas will be as well.
Now, celebrations here in downtown Princess Anne kick off at 9 p.m. this Sunday. And I don't know about you guys, but it has always been my dream to see a muskrat take a dive. So you know where I will be this New Year's Eve. I'm Angelo BAVARO. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Dream big, Angelo. Dream big. 6:08 on WBOC News this morning. We say layers are key, but they really are. I mean, I put my puffer jacket on this morning, still felt that cold.
Yeah, you know, I honestly think this is now Mr. Freeze from the Batman comic books that's causing all of this. It's the only way to explain it. It's so cold out there. In fact, it's actually warmer right now than it was at any point last night. Last night we set the record low in Salisbury for yesterday, right before midnight, at 9 degrees. So thankful for the cloud cover. And actually, what we're picking up on my storm tracker radar, we've turned up the sensitivity to show that there are a few flakes flying in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, but it's not being allowed to reach the ground. It's just so dry at the surface that it all evaporates away before it gets there. But notice out towards Drum Point, we're picking up on a little bit more activity. So would it shock me if we saw a couple flurries this morning? Not really. Last little bit of the activity up towards New Jersey starting to fade away as well. Just a lot of cloud cover this morning. This all thanks to this first piece of energy that's swinging across Delmarva on the Alberta Express. Once again, we've set it up so we're going to see little waves of energy run along the jet stream over the next couple of days. Second one now beginning to dive into the Great Plains. This one's going to have a little bit more moisture as it gets here, and it could bring us a few snowflakes, maybe a few snow showers, even a period of light snow possible as we work through the daytime hours tomorrow, especially across far northern Delmarva. Then we get into this stuff. Minus 39 in Collins Bay, 47 below up towards Watson Lake. And this all spills across the lower 48 over the next couple of days. Notice in Fargo, it's already 9 below zero. This morning, we're in the teens. Notice that the wind chills are up close to about where the temperature is. That's because the winds are calm this morning compared to where they were yesterday out of the northwest at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. That's why it felt so much worse yesterday than it does this morning, even though this morning temperatures might be a degree or two cooler in your backyard. By lunchtime, we're back into the upper 20s. Notice a few of us sneak up into the low 30s, even on Tangier. We might get close to freezing today. I think most of us get close to freezing on Saturday with the chance of some snow showers or some light snow, especially across far northern Delmarva. And then the big chill is on, where New Year's Day, I don't think we get back to 20, honestly. That's just cold.
It's just cold. I'm trying to warm up with my coffee.
Oh, really?
So cold.
You need to get your jacket, too.
I know. I need
as
a
you're
coat.
heading out.
Or 3, as you say.
Or 20.
There you go.
Exactly.
Well, coming up, epic fails by some of the world's best-known companies on display for the world to see. Where it is and why it's become such a popular destination.
And plus, this cute furry friend, oh, not him, not yet, sorry. This cute furry friend has got some big New Year's resolutions planned coming up in just a bit. It's 6:11 on WBOC News this morning.
But first, the people, the places, our history.
WBOC is proud to serve all of Delmarva. Let's check in with Captain Willie Dykes.
Many of our small towns across the peninsula started because of the railroad industry, and that includes the town of Clayton, Delaware. So let's check it out from Chopper 16. This tiny town in northern Kent County was first used as a hub for the town of Smyrna. But the people of Smyrna didn't want the smoke or noise of steam engines pouring into their town, so they moved the rail line 2 miles to the west. In 1860, the area was named after John M. Clayton, a former U.S. Senator. Clayton first served as the Senate's youngest member for 6 years. Even though he declined re-election, people liked him so much he was still voted into office in 1836 and 1845. The town of Clayton was incorporated in 1887 and was mostly noted for being a regional hub for agricultural products, especially peaches. WBOC is proud to serve the town of Clayton and all of Kent County, Delaware, and proud to partner with my friends at Johnny Janosic, where you can find a new look for the new year. Take advantage of complimentary in-store and on-location design consultants to create your indoor oasis. I'm Captain Willie with Chopper 16.